Hello my dear friends, today I will speak about Kazan. Kazan is the capital of the Republic of Tatarstan, an ancient city with centuries of history, located on the left bank of the Volga River. Kazan was founded as an outpost on the northern borders of Volga, Bulgaria, more than 1000 years ago. The age of the city was determined during excavations on the territory of the Kazan Kremlin, when a Czech coin dated 929 to 930 was found, as well as remains of stone masonry and wooden city fence, items of furniture. Kazan is a vivid example of how people of different nationalities and religions live peacefully in a friendly and tolerant atmosphere in one city. Ethnic and religious diversity in the capital of Tatarstan has been preserved for centuries. Accession to tourist Olympia Kazan began in 2005 when the capital of Tatarstan celebrated its millennium. In the anniversary year, the city was visited by 500,000 visitors in the year of the Student Games. Kazan received 1.5 million visitors in the year of the World Aquatics Championships, 2.1 million in 2016, 2.5 million, and in the year of the World Cup, the capital of soccer. Kazan is a youth city, where a scientific and educational center is located. In 2019, the city met the participants of the World Championships in Professional Skills World Skills. The possibility of obtaining accessible and high-quality higher education attracts foreign students and students to the capital of Tatarstan. The pearl of the Kazan Kremlin is poetically called the architectural symbol of Kazan, the Shuimbike Tower, which besides its historical significance is also known as the object of urban mythology. It is one of the so-called fallen towers, as it has a strong vertical slope to the northeast side. The height of the Shuimbike Tower is 58 meters, and the position inside the Kremlin on the hill, far from the fortress walls, determined its purposes as a watchtower. The panoramic view of the Volga and Kazanka, as well as the surroundings of the Kremlin, was perfect for defensive purposes. The question of when to build Shuimbike Tower is one of her riddles, for there is no archive of documents from times of Kazan Khanate, no city plan of Kazan 16th to 17th century. They were burnt in Moscow fire 1701. Therefore versions of the building are several. 17th to 18th century, second half of 16th century, or even period of Kazan Khanate before the capture of Kazan by Ivan Terrible, according to one of the mythological versions. The Tsarina built a tower in honor of her beloved husband Safa Jirai, who died in 1549. According to another, the tower was built in 7 days on the order of Ivan the Terrible, who wished to take Shuimbike as his wife, but from the grief she threw herself from the 7th tier of the tower. In reality, recorded in documents, Tsarina Shuimbike, together with son Utyamash Girey, was betrayed by her Murzams and given to Ivan Terrible together with the Kazan treasury. A year and a half later, against her will, Shuimbike was married to Han Shahali, and her son remained in the care of the royal court. As we can see, fairy tales are fairy tales, but the life of the queen was no less tragic. This may have been the reason why, in the early 19th century, the current name as a memory of Han time, which was symbolized by Shuinbeke, was established behind the tower. The Kazan Kremlin is the main attraction of the capital of Tatarstan, which, without exaggeration, can be called heart of the city. It is a huge complex combining Russian and Tatar cultural tradition in harmony and identity. Settlement and development of territory Kremlin Hill began many centuries ago. The first settlement here appeared, according to some data, as early as 10th century. Already in 12th century Kremlin was the outpost of northern borders of Volga, Bulgaria. From the second half of the 13th century, it became the center of the Kazan Principality of the Golden Horde and then the Kazan Khanate. After the capture of Kazan by the troops of Ivan the Terrible, construction of the Kremlin was significantly damaged and mosques destroyed. On the order of the Tsar of the construction of the white stone Kremlin in Kazan were called Pskov architects, erecting the Basil Blessed Cathedral in Moscow. The fortress was significantly expanded with the complete replacement of wooden defensive structures, with stone structures only occurring in the early 17th century. In the 18th century, the Kazan Kremlin lost its military function and became the administrative and cultural center of the Volga region. In the following centuries, the governor's palace, the Janka School, the new Archbishop House, the President Palace building, and the spiritual consistory were built. In addition, the Annunciation Cathedral was significantly reconstructed. After the revolution of 1917 in the Kazan Kremlin, the temple of the Spassky Monastery, the bell tower of the Annunciation Cathedral, the church of Cyprian and Justinia, the chapel and the Spassky Tower, etc. facilities. In the 1990s, the Kazan Kremlin received the status of residence of the President of Tatarstan. This is a place of restoration. In 1995, the reconstruction of the Kousharif Mosque, which is today one of the largest in Europe, is beginning. The mosque is being rebuilt. Kousharif Mosque in Kazan is the main mosque of Tatarstan, one of the largest Muslim temples in Europe, which is located on the territory of Kazan Kremlin. The construction of the mosque, or more precisely its reconstruction, took place for almost a decade from 1996 to 2005. The most beautiful architectural complex was built instead of the legendary mosque of the Kazan Khanate, which was destroyed during the storming of Kazan by the troops of Ivan the Terrible in 1552. The mosque was named after Kousharif, the last imam of the Said. To be precise, before the conquest of Kazan by Ivan the Terrible, there were 5 mosques in the Kremlin, and about Kousharif it was known that it had 8 minarets. The Kousharif Mosque was originally created as a single architectural complex, which includes the mosque, the excursion office, and the so-called memorial stone. The construction of the temple is two-crossed, 45-degree square in the form of a sign known in the Muslim world as a blessing of Allah. The windows of the dome of the mosque, decorated on the Kazan cap, are carved in the form of tulips. The complex has 4 main minarets, each height of 58 meters. There are also 2 small minarets and 2 at the corners of the main entrance. inside the building. There are observations balconies open to tour groups. The construction was built on donations. In total, more than 40,000 organizations and citizens were collected. The site was built on the basis of donations. The main building contains books with the names of all those who contributed to the construction. Kazan University, founded by Emperor Alexander I. The Kazan University accepted the first students in 1805, making it, along with the Moscow State University, the oldest educational institution in Russia, where they receive higher professional education. The architectural ensemble of the university is one of the main attractions of Kazan. It is included in the list of particularly valuable historical and cultural monuments of the Russian Federation. Its structure includes more than 16 faculties and institutes, several branches in other cities, a number of science and education centers, schools and sports facilities. The university campus occupies an entire quarter on Kremlin Street. It consists of monumental classical buildings with impressive dimensions. In 2016, a number of exhibition halls were opened here, where you can learn about the past of the Kazan University as well as the Versailles activities. At present, the visitors can see the collection of 8 museums: geological, zoological, ethnographic, chemical school, history of pedagogical education, scientific and technical Yelabuka merchants, history of Kazan University. The main building, the observatory, the library, the chemical laboratory, the anatomy theater, and the clinic were built in the first half of the 19th century. Today, the solid columns and fronts of these constructions adorn the city landscape of Kazan, giving it purposely European features. Other buildings appeared already in the Soviet period. Max Fadeev was with you. See you later.